Beer and Ball. My name's Andrew D'Agostino. That is my man Brian Gross. They call him Brian G because he's the G and he knows ball. And we're going to talk about the final pool of the WBC, Pool D. We know Jazz's girlfriend loves Pool D for many reasons. But Brian, first off, how you doing, man?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Went to Cavs game last night. Saw the W. Had a good time. So just ready to watch some WBC. Starts tonight with Bazana. So how you doing?
Doing good, man. I'm so excited. I'm going to stay up at 10 o'clock, I'm going to walk into work tomorrow a little drowsy, a little tired, but if Travis Bazana goes 4-for-4, they might see an aroused Andrew D'Agostino at work tomorrow. Something excited. Excited little man. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see what Travis can do, man.
Yeah.
That'd be a nice confidence boost.
Dude, it just feels nice to see, and especially if you're a White Sox fan, like we talked about yesterday, like if Curtis Mead, just like AL Central in general, like that would be so fun if like all the AL Central guys just go like insane for
Absolutely ape shit. Yeah,
absolutely. For Team
Absolutely.
Australia.
You want it in your own division.
Yeah, dude. I'm excited for it. But we got a lot to talk about. We got a packed show for you guys today, and let's just get underway, man. Let's start with, the overwhelming favorites of this pool, the Dominican Republic. And man, they are just deep. Just a deep team. I mean, MVP candidates up and down this team. Starting with the left fielder of this team, Juan Soto of the New York Mets, man. And there's just a lot that he brings to the table. Elite plate discipline, on-base machine. He's won an MVP with 43 home runs, 105 RBIs last year. He somehow stole 38 fucking bases. I still don't understand how him and Josh Naylor did that. But he did it.
I was just about to say those two.
Yeah, just
unbelievable.
Just
hats off to you.
Bizarre shit by Juan Soto. One thing about Juan Soto, though, is his defense is so bad. So that's a problem for Team Dominican, and that's going to be a problem for a lot of these guys. But another guy that I think is just going to absolutely rake in this tournament, Vladdy Daddy. Vladdy, last year, ALCS MVP. He had a 241 weighted runs created plus in the postseason last year. That's insane. Insane stuff from Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Played some good-ass defense last year. Just raked. He can just rake. And I think he's going to flip the script in this tournament. We saw what he could do in the playoffs last season. Another guy I think is going to just absolutely ball, and he gets a lot of hate for, taking steroids, but that's for good reason. Fernando Tatis Jr. He's going to hit you some bombs, play a gold glove right field. A lot of things to like about with Tatis in this lineup. Some right-handed pop. And another guy that has good right-handed pop, probably one of the best overall players in baseball right now, is Junior Caminero. 45 home runs, led all DR players in the MLB last year in home runs. 99th percentile bat speed. He had a big game yesterday against the Tigers in the Expedition. All hit, I think, in 4 at-bats, every single ball was batted over 100 miles an hour. So that's crazy.
Yeah.
And then one of the best shortstops in all of baseball, Geraldo Perdomo, 4th in MVP voting, Silver Slugger. You got the center fielder of this team, Julio Rodriguez, just a dynamic player all around. Third base, Manny Machado. And then Jeremy Pena is the last guy I'll talk about because I don't want to talk about Austin Wells. I mean, that's just retarded. But anyway, Jeremy Pena, MVP votes, strong postseason pedigree, and just a great defender overall. He's going to hit for average. He's going to just absolutely ball for this team. This is just a stacked team overall, Brian. And let's get to the pitching. Let's not waste any time.
Yeah, God, man. After hearing that litany of players, I mean, you're going to hear it. The same coming out of the bullpen as it is coming out of the dugout with the bats. They got Christopher Sanchez, one of the most underrated pitchers, probably top 3 lefty in the game right now, second in NL Cy Young, dominant 2025, wipeout slider, got a nasty runner fastball. You got Sandy Alcantara, former Cy Young winner, coming off TJ, obviously Tommy John. But this is a guy that has some of the best stuff in the game when he's on. He was one of the reasons why the Marlins even sniffed that got to the wild card the one year. Obviously, again, like I said, Cy Young winner. And he's looking to kind of get that championship back for this team. This team's been looking for it since 13, I believe they won with the at the Giants Stadium.
Yep.
So there's a lot of pride for these guys, especially Sandy coming back and his own pride mixed in as well. You got Brian Bello. He's a good pitcher. I'd say he's young. He had his best year coming off this past year. Has some concerns with control, but he showed a very good outing of 166 innings pitched. So obviously being able to fight through a lot of those things, which is big. You got Luis Severino, who's on the Athletics. He's got a good career ERA. Obviously going to have that elite cutter. But this is a guy that kind of got hit around last night when we saw against the Detroit Tigers. So obviously a good team there, but something to be concerned. But he won't have to carry kind of the top end of the pitching staff. This bullpen is where I love this team. You got Abner Uribe, one of the most underrated arms in the game. He's got 40 earned runs over 75 innings. Just filthy stuff there. Dennis Santana is a solid righty coming out of the pen from the Pirates. You got Carlos Estevez. A lot of us AL Central guys know about him, playing for the Royals this year. Then we got Camilo Duvall as well. We got a late add, a Rockies rookie as well, Juan Mejia. Nasty fastball slider combo. Manager's obviously going to be the machine, Albert Pujols. Everyone loves Albert. But, just looking at this whole pitching staff, this bullpen, I think, could really carry them a long way, but they might not even have to do as much carrying because of the starting rotations. Absolutely filthy. Andrew, what are you thinking about, like, maybe some of the weaknesses, though, that this powerhouse team could possibly have?
Well, the two things for me is Austin Wells. Austin Wells, if he's not going to hit, then, he's just not going to be even valuable to this team. And, Ramirez, too, their other catcher, just absolute disaster behind the plate. Absolute dog shit behind the plate. So you got two catchers that could be a liability, but he can rake. So that's another thing. But they don't really need more guys that can rake. They just need some defense.
Exactly.
The other thing that really concerns me is because of their lack of success in the 2023 pool with already a stacked team in general. I wonder if there's just the pressure is too big for them, and that's why they underperform. We'll see this year. Things could change, but this pool is just stacked.
Yeah, and this team has great players. Don't get me wrong, and they've brought in a great roster, but I don't think they have that unity that like teams like Puerto Rico and Japan have had, like that 2013 team had in the past. That DR team. Every team since that championship, it just seems like a lot of guys kind of playing for themselves in a way. Hopefully, they can get around that. It seems like the Caminero, Soto, Tatis, Guerrero core is kind of leading that way. But for instance, this next team we're going to talk about, and the team after, and some other teams as well. Like I just think this is a question for Team USA and Team DR. A lot of these guys haven't played together a lot, so it's just going to be interesting to see how that's going to kind of gel. A lot of these other teams are repeating guys that have played together, and it just could be something interesting to see.
Yeah, I'm going to also throw in another concern. I know Carlos Estevez is notoriously known for being a slow starter in spring training, like building up velocity. Last year, he sit into 92, 93 in his first appearance in spring training. His first appearance in spring training, dude, he was topping out at 90. So, he was sitting at 89, 90. This is a guy that usually sits in the mid-90s. That, I think, is concerning to me because if his velo is down, his stuff's not going to, he's going to have to rely on his stuff, and he's going to be relying on a lot out of the bullpen. I think Abner Uribe, rolled the dice. That's one of my favorite celebrations in the league, his celebration.
Yes.
He's going to be counted on for everything, and dude's a stud, so... Hopefully he takes a little more pressure off Carlos Estevez. But I like this team overall. I think they have a really good shot at winning the whole thing. Again, it's all about unity and the power of friendship. This team has to come together. They can't just, play like Team LeBron and play loosey-goosey. You know what I mean by that.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. You need to have a team. You can't just have players out there. You got to have a team. Yeah. People are going to have to take roles. You saw it in the Olympics with the USA team basketball 2 years ago. Devin Booker was kind of more of a defensive guy. Everyone's got to take their roles. So that's going to be interesting to see here.
Yeah. Hey, man.
A situation I'm sorry, but just a situation I can literally envision in my head with this DR team is what if they have to move a runner over?
Dude, they're all
Like,
just gonna try to hit
do you
home
really
runs.
think? Do you really like? I think Perdomo would lay a bunt down.
He would.
I think
He'd probably hit you a ground ball to
Pena
second to move
and
him over.
yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think Marte and Pena would be the only other guys that put a bunt down. So you got to think of that situational ball, and our guys are going to be able to kind of get themselves out of their own head and take themselves out of their own position they're usually on their MLB team. Sorry to cut you off, but
No,
that was
dude,
something that I
I'm just gonna
thought.
add on to that too. Those three on their regular MLB teams have to be the best situational hitters on their team, especially Perdomo, because he has Marte in front of him. He's got to move him over to get him in, and that's when they had Eugenio Suarez, he was more of a guy to like, you know what, guy in second, let me hit it with ground ball to second, move him over to third so Gino can get him in. Same thing with Pena, because Pena had a lot of, even though he was a leadoff man, he has a lot of traffic on the bases the past couple of years when he was with the Astros because the Astros lineup is so deep. So those three guys are definitely going to do that. They'll play the small ball. But the rest of the team, man, like, you tell me Junior Caminero is going to lay a bunt down. Like, you tell me Juan Soto is going to lay a bunt. Like, some of these guys are going to have to be unselfish and not try to pat them
Yes,
stats and try to hit dongs every single at bat. But,
absolutely.
man, I'm just going to tell you, I think this team that we're going to talk about next legitimately is probably the biggest threat to Team USA. I'm just putting it out there. And that's Team Venezuela, man. Team Venezuela, just a strong, deep team, great overall deep, probably the best overall team defense in this pool, and maybe even the entire tournament. Bringing in Ronald Acuna Jr., 98th percentile arm, you know what he could do with the bat. 935 OPS last year with 21 homers in limited time, just returning from a ACL tear. And then they got Jackson Churio to play center field, which I love Jackson Churio, man. Great speed,
Great player.
21 bombs, 78 RBIs, just dynamic tools around. One of the most underrated players in baseball, Willie Abreu's also on this team. Dude can fucking rake, man. Gold Glover as well.
Absolute insane arm.
Yeah, just
absolute
insane,
cannon too.
Dude, and some of the plays he can make too. Like, remember that behind the back grab he had against Jose a couple years ago? Dude's a stud. And then another guy you really like, Michael Garcia. Just absolute stud, man. Just absolute stud. 800 OPS, great elite defender, good glove. Luis Ariz, low contact. He's going to just be in the top of the order. Gino Suarez, he's going to hit bombs. I mean, we could go so on and so forth with that. Gleyber Torres, Ezekiel. They're just deep. They're so deep.
Man.
I mean, these are all the guys I picked out, but they're just so deep throughout this lineup.
It's incredible.
Yeah, and not even to mention, they have the Contreras brothers, too. So... But just deep dive in the pitching
Salvi,
for me, man.
Like, Salvi, like, dude, I just got to say about that, those batters, and I think that is the most balanced from the 5 tools of baseball, like arm strength, friggin' fielding, speed, power, contact. That is the most evenly like distributed team. They have no weaknesses, and that whole like, there's not one. And this rotation is more of the same, man. I mean, here's a guy, two different Phillies pitchers we're talking about leading each of the teams we've talked about right now. Christopher Sanchez with the DR. Ranger Suarez, now a Red Sox lefty, signed a big deal in this past offseason. He's going to be the best arm on this staff. He's a stud. You got also Yerman Marquez, Antonio Santella. So you got a couple fine Rockies guys.
Woof.
A couple fine Rockies guys, you know. Woof. Eduardo Rodriguez. Plus you got Kiter Montero and Angel Zerpa. So that rotation is going to have to rely a lot on Ranger. But you do have a lot of experience with guys like Santella and Marquez. So that's going to go a long way in the WBC. Bullpen's really, really good. Led by 2 heavy hitters. You also have Daniel Palencina in there as well. He had a really good year with the Cubs. He had under a 3 ERA. But kind of the 2 big dogs you're going to see out the bullpen are Eduard Basardo. Dude's a stud in that Mariners. In the Mariners, Jesus, if I can speak. In the Mariners bullpen with Munoz. And then also you have Jose Alvarado. So this is a guy for the Phillies, big fat lefty that's just going to throw absolute gas. You're always going to love those dudes that can just get on the mound and absolutely whip it back. You're going to have Omar Lopez as the manager. That is Miggy's hitting coach, which that was pretty interesting to read more and more about him. But what would you say? I mean, I know we did talk about how deep and how perfect this lineup is, and I think people kind of know from what we've broken down here where the weaknesses are. Do you think that starting pitching is going to be kind of the biggest glaring hole in this team?
Yeah,
Would you say for the most
absolutely.
part, Andrew? Yeah, I
Absolutely. I
agree.
mean, outside of Ranger Suarez and shit, maybe Eduardo Rodriguez comes back to, what he was with like the Red Sox and um, the years
He's
before
also coming
he's,
off an injury
yeah,
too.
that too. When he was with the Tigers too, remember he had good years. But other than that, this
Absolutely.
rotation is absolute horse shit, dog shit, whatever you want to call it. I mean, Enyel Zapara is pretty good, but Keiter Montero, ass. German Marquez, ass. Antonio Santella, ass. I mean, like, go on and so forth. It's just, it's going to be a shootout every game. I mean, they're going to rely heavily on their offense, but I still think they're offensively, that's enough to advance. And their defense behind it, they're going to make plays. So as long as they keep the opposition to like 2 to 3 runs a game, they'll be fine.
Yeah, and ideally, right? I'm doing the math here because I couldn't do it in my head. 63 innings is what you're going to play to win a championship.
Yeah.
Most likely, unless you're playing extras, ideally. I think this team can put together 45 to 50 good enough innings to where their offense could carry them the other part. So, it's not it's much more of a sprint. So, yeah, I think that's definitely worrisome. But, man, they got firepower out of the bullpen. I mean, you have Bizardo, Palencia, and Alvarado. That's pretty good 1, 2, 3. So
Yeah. No, just absolute, depth, just up and down
absolutely,
from this team. Very good
I think
team
that'd
so
be
far.
the only way they'd like fall off the planet or not make the get out of the pool would be if their starting pitching just gets absolutely shellacked.
Yeah, that's a possibility, dude. That might happen. You never know in this game, especially in this pool.
They might just outscore them. Yeah,
Yeah,
like you said.
especially like Netherlands, who we're going to talk about next. I mean, they got some dudes that could hit the ball over the park. Yeah,
Sneaky team.
yeah, sneaky team led by Xander Bogaerts. Up and down a couple years with the Padres. Just a mild bounce back last year, league average, but you know what he could do. Good with solid with the glove. Ozzy Albies is here, good power speed threat from the Braves. He could produce some pop. He's had some big moments in the playoffs and so on and so forth. Guy I want to highlight because he's a fucking moron. Jurickson Profar. He was on this team, but he got suspended 162 games for PEDs, so he will not be on this team. Cedar Rafaela, elite defense, game-changing glove. He's got some pop too. I really like him. I think he's just a young outfielder that could really play. Really weird one for me because he's been out of the league for a little bit. Didi Gregorius. He'll be playing a lot of first base. Been active in the league. He's been playing in Mexico for the last couple of years. I can see Didi having some sort of an impact here. He's always had the
Absolutely.
tools. And then Drew Jones. Drew Jones, obviously son of Andrew Jones. It's going to be really fun to watch him. Tools defender. He's got some pop. That's all I really got for the lineup, Brian. Who do you have for your rotation?
Yeah, rotation's nothing crazy, but they do have a couple notable names, especially led by the manager here, Andrew Jones. Everyone's going to know about that guy. Obviously, his son's playing on the team. Rotation's not going to really have a true ace. You're probably going to see a lot of bullpen games coming out of them. Led by a guy that's pitched for the Netherlands the past couple of WBCs, Kenley Jansen, Angels closer. He had a solid 2025. 63 earned runs over 59 innings isn't awful. He's a veteran anchor. You got young minor league arms, Antoine Kelly. He's Pirates AA guy, good fastball. Obviously, you know how the Pirates are doing with their pitching, developing it really well. And then we got Jonte Kelly, Rigerti Mirte. That's crazy. I don't know if I pronounced that right.
What
A Reds pitcher. He's 95 mile an hour fastball though with a huge curveball, so that'd be fun to see. It's just this. You look at the team; they're extremely inexperienced when it comes to pitching. 10 of the 12, youngest roster players are pitchers. Pretty much everyone besides Jansen is a minor league arm, so going to be interesting to see. But would you say that's their biggest weakness, Andrew, or would you say that there's kind of something else that's kind of glaring to you?
Um, I just think their rotation in general. I mean, sure, Kenley Jansen's back there to close it down, but really they don't have any great arms. I mean, I think Antoine Kelly could be, a big guy for them, but just the lack of pitching depth and the lack of MLB talent in the rotation, I think really scares me. Um, but they're gonna have to rely on their defense to win games too with that offense they have. Same thing with with Team Venezuela, like we said, is they're gonna have to play lights out, pitching wise, pitching and defense, but because they're gonna score runs.
There's gonna be a lot of hitting in this.
Yeah,
In this
this pool is gonna
that's
be
for sure.
insane offensively. So
It's gonna be the old Big 12. If you know
yeah,
football, right?
yeah,
It's
literally.
gonna be the old Big 12.
Yeah. Hey man, but you want to talk about the biggest underdog in this pool that everybody's hyping up? Team Israel.
They did just beat the Marlins 1-0.
They did. They snuck
They
past the
did
Marlins.
just beat the Marlins 1-0.
Yeah.
That takes something to beat a team and give up no runs. That's something.
Hey, it's a little, a little gritty-ish. Maybe this team's got some grit in them. I mean, they got Harrison Bader at the start. 122 weighted runs created plus over his career. Strong defense, just the vibes guy. He's a former Gold Glover. Spencer Horwitz of the Pirates, he's a good player too. 120 WRC plus and 836 plate appearances in his career. Garrett Stubbs of the Phillies is here. CJ Stubbs' his brother. So they got the Stubbs brothers behind the plate catchers, but just limited MLB experience on this team. A lot of minor leaguers in their lineup. So who they have in their rotation, Brian?
They got a couple guys. Dean Kramer, guy for the Orioles, league average MLB starter. He's a clear anchor on this team. Bullpen mix. You got a guy like Tommy Canley, though. I probably think he'll be the eighth. It depends, kind of what he's looking for. But we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Matt Bowman. Matt Laser, who's had a solid ERA for the past couple years. Eli Morgan from Guardian right there. Robert Sox, Zach Weiss. So just some guys that I can kind of add in with a couple bit of minor league guys. Nothing too special here. Is led by former Astro and MLB player Brad Ausmus. So that's another interesting little fact there. But, they're just nothing much to say about this team, sadly. Sorry, Team Israel.
No, just a low talent. I think they're going to win at least one game. One game. And maybe
them and the next team is probably going to be the fight for whoever gets their one win.
Yeah, fight for the basement, and that's going to be Nicaragua. They're the biggest underdog, I think, in this entire pool, maybe in the entire tournament, other than Brazil. Dusty Baker, I think is their manager, if I'm not mistaken.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
crazy.
He's a big vibes guy. But they got Mark Vientos, and Mark Vientos
awesome.
is really the only true star. Had a sophomore slump, or not sophomore slump. He had a good sophomore year with 132 weighted runs created plus. But he had a down year last year, just league average in a 2025 year with a bunch of injuries. But he's their power source. Another guy, pointed out is a former top 100 prospect, headliner prospect in the Mookie Betts trade, Jeter Downs. Had a solid MPB stint last year, and he was in the minors, added thump. So we could see what he did. But other than that, man, I mean, they got a guy named Asmel Mugaya, a 27-year-old prospect with a 9.7 career K rate. Doesn't strike out a lot. He's in the Yankees and the Blue Jays system. So maybe that guy can help me, a little speed contact guy. But not a lot of offense from this team. What about the pitching?
Yeah, just, again, not a lot. Erasmo Ramirez and JC Ramirez, they're veteran righties. Limited MLB impact recently, but they do have some MLB impact. Prospects can be Carlos Rodriguez, Brewers, backhanded starter, kind of like a 4-5 for the most part. Improved command, though, at age 23. So we'll see how he goes. Stephen Cruz, he's another Brewers guy, AA guy, 97-mile-an-hour fastball roughly. And they are managed by Dusty Baker. So that'll get them in, playing really good baseball, get them focused in, be able to kind of have a good game plan going into the game. They're not going to just come in swinging the bat. They're going to have actually a sense of what they want to do. So, again, it's just a huge, massive talent gap between these other teams. Yeah. This pool, I don't really know why, in my opinion, you could have, switched out maybe a Netherlands and throw them in a pool A for somebody else, like a Cuba or something, but I don't know. But it just seems like a little stacked to me, but
Yeah, this one's loaded. I mean, but the just Nicaragua in
So top
general is
heavy.
just god awful. I don't think they
True.
win a game. It will be a massive success if they win any games, but I doubt they
Even if
win a
they beat
single game.
Israel, in my opinion, I think
Yeah,
that's an upset.
and I don't really think they will because Israel's got more just talent in general. The
Yeah,
lack
yeah.
of talent here is just the biggest issue, and this is an offense that lacks power and just depth in general. They went 0-4 in their debut in 2023. I expect them to go 0-4 in their, run it
Absolutely.
back season in 2026. But Brian, let's get to Brian in the books. What you got for me, buddy?
Yeah, so this is a pretty straightforward one. However, there is one thing I love in Pool D. So we're gonna go for looking right here. I'll give you the odds first of just the pool in general.
Yeah.
Let me load this up here. Again, obviously you're gonna have the DR up front. They're the heaviest head favorite in the pool right now. Minus 160. Venezuela at plus 150 for you there. Netherlands plus 1300. Nicaragua and Israel tied at plus 6500 to win the pool. To qualify. Right now we're looking at qualified to advance. Or no, hold on. Sorry. To qualify, minus 1400 for the DR, so no value there. Minus 700 for Venezuela. Plus 250 for the Venezuelan or for the Netherlands to qualify. Could have some value there. Nicaragua and Israel as well, tied again, plus 2,000. Here is my favorite bet. So I'm going to go to winning the poll. I'm sorry, top two exact. So in DraftKings, almost sponsored by DraftKings Sportsbook. Please sponsor us, DraftKings Sportsbook. You could get a little more value on that Venezuela pick. So if you'd like Venezuela to win the pool, it's plus 150 for them just to win the pool. For them to finish first and the DR to finish second, which, let's be honest with ourselves, that's probably what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Plus 170. So you get a little more value there. That's probably my favorite bet out of this pool. I'd say that one, if you really want to go for value, I like the plus 250 to advance. I don't think they're going to advance. I just think that's good value for the Netherlands because I could totally see them bombing on Venezuela, like just going off in a game. I could completely see that happening. But yeah, other than that, man, there's not going to be a lot of value in this pool. It's going to be real top heavy.
Yeah, I'll just make my pick right now. I think the Dominican wins this, followed by Venezuela. I think Venezuela's only game they're gonna lose is to the Dominican. They could potentially go 4-0. You never know. If maybe like their lineup catches fire, they catch up to Christopher Sanchez. But I don't trust Ranger Suarez. Going more than 5 innings against the Dominican Republic. They also have something to prove this year, and I think they will prove it. Potentially win it all. But like I said, I like this Venezuela team. I think they might be closer to Team USA than we think too. The Dominican and Venezuela are very close. Yeah, but I'm going Dominican advancing and Venezuela advancing. It's gonna be close though. I think that Venezuela and Netherlands game will be closer than people think too.
I agree. I think that could be a sneaky game, 100%. So you're looking at right now. Sorry, I'm trying to pull up this pool. So right now, we'll just go through our quarters picks here. So you have them winning, DR winning, obviously. So you're going to have you would have DR against the Pool C runner-up. So are you going USA and Mexico?
Yeah. Well, no, USA okay, so and what was the other? I think
USA and Canada. Did you go Canada?
Yeah.
USA and Canada. Oh, holy crap! This is last year's. Hold on. Sorry,
no,
folks.
You're okay. Sorry, you're good.
Sorry, folks. Hold on.
I think it's USA. I think I did
Here
USA and Italy.
Correct. USA and Italy. Yep. Sorry about that, folks.
No, you're good.
I was like, I didn't think we were playing Canada this year. No. Yeah, so we'll go through Andrew's picks first here. So right now, Andrew, in the first quarterfinal, you're going to have, I'll go through Pool A, then Pool D. Or I'll go with Pool A. So Pool A, you got Puerto Rico, Cuba, Canada, Panama, Colombia. Who you got? Puerto Rico and Canada coming out?
Yeah, I have Puerto Rico, Canada. Yep.
Puerto Rico 1, Canada 2?
Flip-flop.
Okay, Canada 1, Puerto Rico 2.
Mhm.
Okay, so then you would have Canada facing Italy, and then you'd have Puerto Rico facing the U.S. Who do you have in both of those games?
I have the U.S. winning, and then who's playing Canada? Italy.
Canada, in this case, would be playing Italy. Yeah.
I'd still take Canada. Yeah.
Okay, so Canada and the U.S. in the semis,
Mhm.
and you'd have the U.S. going to the championship.
Yeah.
Okay, so then on the other side of the bracket, we would have Japan, Australia, Korea, Czech, and Chinese Taipei. So you'd obviously have Japan and Czech getting through, right? No, I'm just
I have Japan and South Korea. Yeah.
Japan and South Korea.
Yeah.
I love the Czech team. I just love those boys. And then obviously you said you have Dominican and Venezuela.
Yep.
Right. So you'd have Japan versus Venezuela in the first semifinal. Who you got there?
Japan.
Japan. And then you would have Dominican and Korea.
Dominican. Yep.
And then you got Japan and Dominican. Who you picking?
Dominican.
USA and Dominican. Who's winning the WBC?
The United States.
Yeah. United States.
Mm-hmm.
That's Andrew D'Agostino's prediction. I'd say I'm pretty much right on that, man. I would say the only thing I would change is you've sold me on Canada. I used to be on Colombia. You sold me on Canada. I'd go Puerto Rico, Canada as well. I would just flip flop those.
Yeah.
So I think it would be Canada versus
Can go either
Mexico.
way.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be Canada versus Mexico instead of Italy. It's gonna be, but Italy does have a lot of firepower going.
I just think they have a better rotation.
That's true, and Italy did go 3-2 last year, or in the last WBC. So for your sake, I'm gonna go Italy. I kind of like that. You're convincing me a little bit. So we'll go Canada versus or Puerto Rico versus Italy. I'm gonna pick Puerto Rico. It's gonna be USA and Puerto Rico in the semis, USA in the championship. The only thing I'm gonna switch, I'm actually gonna pick Venezuela to beat Japan in the quarterfinals.
Yeah.
I think Venezuela is going to bomb on them. I think it's going to be the Dominican over the Aussies. I think the Aussies are going to get through. I think they're going to run. They have they're just tough dudes, man, and they just love playing, and they're just competitive as hell. But I think we're going to have Dominican and Venezuela, and I think it is going to be Venezuela and the U.S. Ultimately, yeah, I literally said to Andrew before this, I don't think the U.S. is going to win. I completely changed my mind. I think the USA is going to win. The lineup's too deep. The lineup's too
deep,
good.
And they got some top guys.
Nolan McLean in the championship. It's just it. If that's going to be the guy, and he's your fourth, ideally, even without Joe Ryan, it's just this tournament's so fun. It's like a March Madness, man. It makes me think back and forth and have all these different scenarios in my head, but I'm just happy with finally.
Yeah, and I'll throw this out here too, that I think that even though nobody's talking about it, Paul Skeens is probably going to pitch in the championship no matter what, just depending on what happens. Probably come out of the bullpen. Yeah. I don't think he'll start, but he'll definitely pitch in the championship because he's going to want to pitch in the championship. It'll probably be like 2-3 innings, not a lot of work, but kind of what you saw yesterday against the Giants in that expedition game. You're going to see the same thing.
That's the beauty, because you do get, I believe if I look here, I think they do get a day in between.
Yeah, because they play the...
Yeah, they get it.
I want to check
They play the one semifinal and then the other semifinal, then the championship. So, and we're on the first side, so we would have a break in between the day.
Just looking up the score right now between the Rockies and Team USA. Hydrogen bomb versus coughing baby.
Yeah, that's just terrible. Who's your MVP for the tournament?
I think I'm going to go with Roman Anthony. I think he's just going to ball.
Oh, man, that was my...
Yeah. I think he's just going to show up on the biggest stage. He just...
Absolutely.
Oh, okay. 3-2. Team USA in the bottom of the fourth. The Rocks are fighting, dude. They're playing close.
Zach Veen went yard.
Yeah. And Clayton Kershaw's pitching right now.
Oh, boy.
He's giving up a run.
That boy.
He's giving up a run.
Was it to Veen? Did Veen go yard?
Let me check. I'm looking at the game day right now.
This is live reactions, folks.
Yeah, dude.
You guys are very blessed to see this right now.
Let's see. Mickey Moniak. Mickey hit a home run.
Mickey.
Let me see.
The Rockies got some boys this year.
Dude, yeah.
Are they going over 54.5 wins?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I think they're bad. I think they're bad, but that's just so low. That's just so low.
Do you think the White Sox are going over 69.5?
Yeah. I think they will.
Dude,
Well,
people
we'll
are
go
betting
through
on them
this
like
next
crazy.
week. We got to do our over-unders.
Yeah, that's true.
But,
That's
like,
true.
dude, 59, and like, that's just so low.
That's just 54 and a half.
54 is so low. Like, of course, I mean, like,
they're bad.
They were awful, but they're not going to be, like, they're not going to be that bad.
They were so bad.
Yeah, but you can't be that bad 2 years in a row. Like, you can't. There's going to be some sort of improvement. Like,
we're Cleveland Browns fans, brother. Come on.
Yeah, baseball and football are completely different aspects. Judge Homer.
Yeah, you're right. Oh, there we go. Did he just do it? Or?
No, it was the first inning.
Oh.
Yeah,
that's probably who, honestly.
Oh my God, Clayton Kershaw is just wow.
Yeah, on that note.
Yeah, let's get out of here, man.
Yeah.
Hey, but from Andrew D'Agostino, that is Brian Gross. We'll see you next time on Beer and Ball. We'll talk Jerks and Profar tomorrow because why not? He's a fucking idiot. So we'll see you all tomorrow. Peace.
See you guys. Peace.